Welcome back guys to a brand new video. Very exciting news. In this box, I've had some metal stock delivered and it's a type of material that I've never used. It's aluminium. I have the Hafoc AL320G lathe that I've purchased not so long ago over there. I've only used mild steel on it and it's quite dense to machine, and I've heard that aluminium is a lot easier to machine because of its density difference. In this video, I'm going to make some pulleys for a future project. Let's unbox this. I'll show you what's inside and then I can talk about what I'm going to make and why I'm making it. Alright guys, so this is what was inside the box on my delivery. This was from two different suppliers. One was makersuppliers.com.au. It's an online purchase store for stock of all different kinds, whether it be aluminium, copper, brass, you name it. They have it in small lengths for us hobbyists. And the other product that I purchased was the bearings from refast.com.au, which is an Australian company just there. I've purchased bearings that are 8mm wide, 12mm inner diameter, and 28mm outer diameter. And what I plan to do is make some pulleys with this stock just here. This is 100mm long, 90mm wide, and this one just here is 65 wide and 200mm long. I plan to make 2 large pulleys out of that, and possibly 3 or 4 out of that one, and machine bearing inserts on 2 sides of that, so run 2 bearings on both sides of each pulley to make the project that I'm making in the future. So let's get this cut down to size and then chucked in the lathe. Alright guys, so there we have it. That is the pulley that you've just seen me create on the lathe over there. And I can tell you now that aluminium is my new favorite material to machine. It was absolutely awesome, but one of the big downfalls of it is the mess that it creates. It's absolutely amazing. The small filings go absolutely everywhere. They went all over the floor, meters away from the lathe, so it's definitely a messy task, but I thoroughly enjoyed every single moment of it. So that has come up an absolute treat. It is a basic design, but it only needs to be basic for what I'm using it for, and I'm going to reveal that at the end of this video. So make sure you stick around to see why I'm making these pulleys and what I'm using it for in the future video. So the next step is to grab this 65mm round bar there. It's the same grade aluminium, and I'm going to be making at least 3 pulleys out of that. So I'll have one large driven pulley, so take a guess in the comments down below what that may be and what I'm using it for, and 3 more smaller pulleys will be made out of this here. So I need to machine that down and then cut 3 pulleys out of it and do the same sort of process. But what I did before on the other one that sort of wasted a bit of time was that I had to clearance the underside of my boring bar. I have 16mm tooling, but I haven't purchased any large drill bits yet. So 13mm, believe it or not, is the largest drill bit I have, and that's all I drilled that through. And then I had to bore it out on this side here to the 18mm or so that it needed to be. So let's get back on the lathe and let's get this turned down to size. Alright guys, thank you so much to who stuck around to the very end of this video to see why I've made these pulleys just below. It was an absolute mission and it took quite a few hours, surprisingly, to make all 4 of these pulleys and get them just right for the project that I'm going to be using them in. I'm not sure if you've seen in the background of the video clips, you might have seen something over there and may have pieced it together of what I'm actually going to make. The reason I split this video up is because I planned on making the pulleys and making the other tool in the one video, but it was just going to blow the video out way too far and make it way too long. It would have been over an hour. So let's talk about what I'm going to make with these pulleys in front of me, but just give me 1 second. With these things in front of me, have you guessed it? Do you know what I'm making? Yes, I'm making a linisher or belt sander from scratch. I wanted to put the lathe to use to make the pulleys myself, not just to buy them online. I bought this off Marketplace and I got it for, I think, $50. It's a single phase 240 volt motor. It spins up at about 1400 RPM, so it should be all right for what I'm doing. I'm not sure of the ratios with that as a driving pulley and then 3 other idler pulleys there, and how the performance and speed's going to go, but we're just going to have to find out in the next video. So once again, thank you so much to everyone who stuck around to the end. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below if you like. No pressure. It really helps the channel grow, and I appreciate it so much. Every day I'm getting more and more subscribers and I'm absolutely stoked. So I can't wait to put all this to use in the next video. I'm super excited about that, but that'll have to be either next week or the week after's video because it is going to take some time to make. I'll be using the Arcdroid in that video, so you get to see that used to make some of the cutouts and whatnot to create the belt sander. So thanks again for watching, and until next time, I'll see you in the next one. Hafoc AL320G, L320G Hafoc. Welcome back guys to a brand new video. So let's get this started. So let's get this in the it only needs to be basic for what I'm doing. I've said earlier that I'll mention it, but it only needs to be basic for what the purposes is. Alright guys, thank you so much for sticking around. Using these pulleys that I've made. Thank you so much to whoever stuck. I bought this.